In terms of sales, we're at a bottom. Of course, a lot of that are foreclosure and other distressed sales, but that's part of finding a bottom in the housing market. And I would agree that most of the weakness in construction now is in multifamily, particularly condominiums. Single family is fine.
Susan, I mean, the data point that stuck out to me was that the supply of new homes coming on the market is now finally below household creation. Isn't that exactly what we need to get to a bottom? I mean, that's the only way to work through the supply that's on the market.
That's what we need, but it's not all that we need. We need the foreclosure supply to start slowing down also.
Why? I mean, foreclosure is a market clearing process as well. I mean, it's just setting a new price point. People don't like it because it's a low price, but I mean, it clears the market.
But if we get more homes coming onto the market through the foreclosure process, as we get more homes coming onto the market through the foreclosure process, housing prices can continue to fall. But we're beginning to see some consistency here, which is a good thing. Not only have home sales not declined, but home sales are actually up a bit in the West, and that's where we see a slowing of price declines.
Yeah, I mean, I think
so there is some good signal here.
What's your theory on this big drop in so-called multifamily?
It's not a theory so much as it's all about financing. A lot of these multifamily apartment owners, developers are having trouble financing these loans, and so the biggest problem for them is just to get the credit to build the buildings. The other issue, though, is that apartment buyers at this point are not out there. Still, you got a lot of people at home, a lot of people waiting around, trying to wait for this market to bottom. They're not renting, they're moving in with their parents. And another issue in the apartment sector, of course, is sheer supply. I mean, you had a lot of these condo buildings that went condo first and now are going back to apartment rental units. There's just simply too much supply, and so the builders aren't out there building.
Mark, is there anything wrong with that? I mean, you see more people renting in the time being. Maybe that's the way it has to be. I mean, they were essentially renters before. If they weren't putting equity into the homes that they were buying, you know, in the case of a lot of subprime mortgages, you know, you see a slowdown in the building of apartment buildings. Maybe we don't need so many apartment buildings.
Well, no, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. We need less supply, both single-family and multifamily.
New construction, new home starts, new housing starts have let us out. It's a leading indicator. They let us out of recession and into recovery. But it strikes me now, because of this whole problem in recent years, it's a much smaller, even tiny part of GDP, Susan Wachter. I want to ask you, how important to economic recovery are these statistics on new home starts, on building?
Well, they're important. They're going to be you're going to see them in the employment numbers, but they're not what we need to rely on for a turnaround in the economy. This time, they're going to be a lagging indicator. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I was just going to say, I mean, this is one of the reasons why the recovery isn't going to be V-shaped. It's because in past recoveries, housing and the vehicle industry have led the way out. And that's clearly not going to be the case now. Vehicles are going to be flat on their back for quite some time. And we do still have a lot of inventory out there that we have to work out. So construction is going to remain low. So I don't think we come barreling back. I think it's more like an L-shaped in large part because of this.
Yeah. And then more specifically, I mean, I'd ask any of you, you know, let me start with you, Susan. Some people are saying, based on economists, based on the data we saw this morning about home creation, household creation versus the inventory, that we could see a bottom in the housing market sometime this summer. What do you think about that?
Well, of course, which part of the bottom? Sales, new starts, yes, we might see a bottom there.
What about
sales? Well, sales are hanging in there. They're not going up, they're not going down. I expect them to continue to hang in there until we've got some real bottom formation in housing prices. I don't see that until unemployment peaks, which is not.